Hello there, I'm Sconchulus, and this is TEPPEN Deck Teck, where I present to you decks that are fun, strong, or interesting. Today we are playing Green's wildest combo deck, which is pure big number Monkey Energy. The combos and interactions are complex, but the outcome is the flashiest, most high-ceiling rushdown deck since the last time they printed a new Chun-Li card. There's a lot of cards that aren't okay, but the funniest is Yumekichi. He's just a little guy, which is not reflected in his stats. A 2/8 that is intended to be buffed, ideally with Devil Breaker, is already a good start. And when Yumekichi hits 5 or more, they will summon another unit from the deck, buffing it by 4 HP. A 4 MP unit that can summon 5s with upside, along with good stats, is demanding to be broken. And I wouldn't normally say to do this, but I fully recommend mulliganing for this specific card every single match, starting out. There are other busted ways to start the game, but they're more complicated, and this is also the play you do want to make every single game. So learning how to do this line is important, and you'll learn the other more complicated stuff by doing this play. Plus, it's never bad to hard mulligan for it when you need that extra gas. And of course, we do have combo pieces to go with Yumekichi. Devil Breaker is always available, which is why you don't need to mulligan for the combo piece. That said, our combo pieces start with 3 unconventional move. Plus 3 attack is clearly designed in the picture to make the monkey work, and has broken potential with other units as well. There's also a tiny combo with that card and the Moral Decision. This card allows us to seal the damage +1 and gain +6 HP to make Yumekichi a 5/14. Red players lose on the spot to this card. Then our other combo pieces are legendaries, unfortunately. This deck is only consistent if it's blinged out. Thankfully, every green player should have Hero's Sword, the strongest green card released before now, and sealing the downside of the card, I mean it's good, but I have never felt the need to make Hero's Sword stronger. And with all the praise I always give Hero's Sword, we have the only green card that is now stronger, Antagonist's Dance. For 2 MP, this gives all friendly green units +3 attack, heavy pierce, and indestructible. The downside on this feels like a joke because they are not hitting you after you just wiped their board. Sorry, ended the game. The OTKs are unfair, and you never have to worry about how to win in any matchup because of this card. I honestly feel like it's very poorly designed, and I see a huge target on this card for adjustment. It's good in every deck, and at the moment, green players are thriving. Use it as a combo piece only when you have to. And our final, most bizarre combo piece, but the one that's funniest, is Let's Go Garangolm. Making the combo 1 MP cheaper alone is solid, but this card is just like Antagonist's Dance if we really talk about its potential. This deck's absolute tastiest combo is Yumekichi into Unconventional Move, into Chun-Li, into Let's Go Garangolm for a 10 attack rush combo unit. Then the 5th piece of Exodia is Antagonist's Stance to make it a clean 26 unblockable off a 5-card combo. This deck is so cool! And that brings us to Chun-Li. She is everything for this deck. Always the summon you want off of the monkey, and the ideal finisher, but even just throwing her out at random seems to work. If you don't open with your combo, this is the next best thing. Next, a much more difficult card to play is Gan Isurugi. Baseline, the 5 damage split attacking is solid, but you can also block with him to do 5 blocking, maybe get a kill, then have the 5 damage go right where you want it and get another kill. But that's risky. The safest play with Gan is to Devil Breaker for the 8 damage split and more with spillover. It's usually a board wipe. And if you summon him off of the monkey, which is possible, you can even Garangolm him on the second attack to bring him up to 9 damage. Endless fun with this card. There's like 5 more plays I could mention, but I should probably mention his other effect too. The downside is usually ignorable, just don't forget about it if you want to turn it off. And don't forget you will turn it off if you want the damage. Speaking of high execution rushdown, we have the Moral Warrior Cammy. She can take a third off of the life bar on her own with Super in this deck. The combo when you draw Cammy is with Devil Breaker. Just have her block a unit with 5 HP or less, then use Devil Breaker to make it decimate, and Cammy will rush in with combo and 5 attack for 10 direct. And just like every rush unit, you can make that unblockable. Cammy also gives combo to your entire board to allow even more opportunities for surprise lethal. And she gives out Devil Breakers to your other units, which is a little harder to set up, but it's really extra. And if it ever happens, you're probably in a game-winning position. And let's speed through our other speedsters. Heavenly Kick's Chun-Li is barely worse than the new one. At 4 years older, she is big pressure at the right time. Tamamo is a fun of to Spiral Momentum, but is the riskiest, meaning worst, turn 1 play in the deck. Tidal Whale, generically, can shut down any game and thrives in the sea of buffs we can give him. Beautiful 8 Grimalkin grabs our combo monkey and then has another broken effect, so that's broken. And our final card is Ice Cold Morals Kyosuke. This card also does a lot. The thing that matters for us is he is big momentum energy. If he gives out more than 1 shield, the next thing he gives out is an L to the opponent. Forget I said anything. Here's the deck QR for you, and with all that said, let's get into it. Game 1, we are up against an iconic player. One of my only fellow English content creators. Big shouts out to Cosplay Fitness, repping the Choral Orchestra, a much less explored art than the one I'm playing, starting things off to add 2 humans to the EX pocket for Choral Orchestra, and to potentially get some cards engraved. We will start off with our Ice Cold Morals Kyosuke, which is easy fodder for Gon Isarugi into double Kyoko. A ton of pressure at the start of the game, and we have to do something about that. We will play down our Breedful 8 Grimalkin, which will just eat a seal, and the Chun dies on the attack. We go for a big Gon Isarugi to get back in this, and with Devil Breaker, it will pay off big time. We clear the board and have a 7-5 Gon on board. Our opponent will go for a Chun-Li to clear that, and we will go for a risky Tamamo, which does not quite pay off when the Chun-Li is able to defeat it. Our opponent will play down a Tiffany to get another card engraved, and a high-speed cycle to potentially defeat our Grimalkin, but we are able to save it with the plus 6 HP action. We will play down our Cammy, which will buff up the card that it didn't do anything actually. Our opponent will play down Chosukabamu to Chike, and we will defeat it with a Gon Isarugi. At this point, that play into the 10 damage on Devil Breaker is the momentum we need, and despite what would be game-winning momentum, we have Antagonist's Dance, and what should have been a fair win for our opponent. We'll play every card in hand just to show him, and we will take a very cheap Game 1. Game 2, we are up against the other villain of the season, Wesker. Did I say villain? I mean the other deck people are talking about. We'll start things off with Chun-Li into a Droid Claire. 4 MP for 4 MP is as fair as it gets. Chun-Li's great because she always kind of demands at least that much to answer her. And we will play a Yume Kichi into Lechko Garangolm, and thankfully we drew an unconventional move off the top. Our opponent will go for their Iron Maiden on top of their Garangolm to defeat the Garangolm's monkey, and we will go for our unconventional move to get a Tamamo from deck. With our second monkey, we will play down a Kyoko, this is an older version of the deck, sealing our monkey, getting a ton of momentum, and our opponent's Droid Claire will have trouble finding a target here. will be able to get the spill over and play the Neketsu bun to protect our monkey. But of course our opponent has an answer in the form of Mad Massacre, but that isn't gonna do a lot when we can go for our antagonist stance to bring them down to 14 life, 10 life, and when we play down Heavenly Kicks Chun-Li, we have every opportunity to find game. We try to get it with our super on the Heavenly Kicks Chun-Li, but our opponent has blockers both times, and it's just anything we have to play. Our opponent can keep blocking, but they know the writing's on the wall. Game 3. We are both in the top 100. Might be a first for the channel, is kind of cool. But we are up against the definite strongest black deck of the format, which should potentially give our green cheese a run for its money. We'll start things off with Chun-Li, but our opponent can't block it yet. We get in 12 direct before our opponent eventually will play down a Rebecca into Snowgarm, and we can seal the second level on their Rebecca. We'll let the Snowgarm go off, but sealing levels on a change form player is always super nasty. But dealing with their Devilote now is going to be a pretty big problem. Of course, we can try to go for Yumekichi blocking and summoning something in the middle lane, but we don't get the middle lane. And the unit after that isn't any better to defeat Devilote. That's basically fodder for all of their stuff. They will go for Iron Maiden into Sepia to clear our board along with the very last unit we have. We will play, of course, our last monkey, getting our Gan Isurugi, the absolute best card that could deal with Devilote from the deck. We're running out of targets though, but our opponent will play down their last chance to swing momentum, and when we counter that with Hero Sword, our opponent will surrender game 3. And here's a very high skill bonus clip. I thought those of you who hate Raging Demon or Wesker Ouroboros might appreciate some extremely unfair gameplay in their direction. And I could have just published this one as a screenshot. You can already see where this is going. We will play down Chun-Li into Hero Sword into antagonists, and there is 0 cards in black that can stop this right now. I would only recommend doing this against black or red, but there you go. Here we are again, and wow, this deck must be annoying if you're not the one playing it. Black players especially, I feel a little bad. But as a lover of combos and ridiculous pop-offs, I am having a blast. The one change I definitely recommend, Tamamo rarely pulls her weight. I have switched that out for another action. I've tried Soul Sacrifice from Core, was really funny but not worth trying. Just play a third copy of the battle chip is probably the best option. I do have a budget version here for you, of course, which is extremely close to this version. It's one of the strongest budget decks I've shown, because this deck is kind of a budget version. I'm not doing it to be budget, but this is a cheaper version of the deck people are playing, which tends to use Muscular and a bunch of 3MP units. That deck is probably the more consistently strong version, but this version is the high roll OTK cheese version. If you want to win fast, this one is winning a lot more than the quote-unquote meta version of the deck. As for the next episode, I'm hoping to do a long overdue legendary card tier list update. Those just take a very long time to edit. Other than that, let me know if there's any specific decks this format that you guys are interested in seeing. Other than that, sorry this one took a minute. I did get a little sick this week, but thank you guys for watching. Please like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe if you subscribed. Once again, I'm Scontulus, and I'll see you in the next one.